Private equity, often seen as the enemy of business, loading on a bunch of debt and slashing the workforce.
No more fun and games for Toys R Us.
Red Lobster has officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Imagine yourself driving through your hometown. The Toys R Us you loved as a kid, gone. The mall where your parents worked, boarded up. The hospital where you were born, shut down last year. You don't know it, but the same invisible hand closed them all. In 2017, 33,000 workers lost their jobs when Toys R Us collapsed, crushed under $5 billion of debt loaded onto it by Wall Street. In Pennsylvania, a gunshot victim died in an ambulance because his local ER, owned by a private equity firm, had been padlocked shut. This isn't random. It's not bad luck. It's a business model. They don't build anything. They don't invent anything. They don't even have to care if the companies they buy survive. But they own everything. Your grocery store, your doctor's office, maybe even your home. This is private equity's quiet war on the middle class. A war waged not with bullets, but with debt. Not with soldiers, but spreadsheets. Before we dig in, hit subscribe. It tells the algorithm this story matters, because the people buying your world don't want you to see how it's happening. Private equity firms build nothing, but control everything. They operate behind closed doors, in skyscrapers you'll never enter, using money you'll never see. As of 2024, these firms control over $13 trillion in assets, more than the GDP of every country on Earth except the US and China. They buy companies using borrowed money, called a leveraged buyout. Here's how it works. They put down a small slice of their own cash, sometimes just 2%, then borrow the rest. They buy the company, but the company itself is forced to take on the debt. The new owners get control, and the company gets the bill. It's like buying someone else's house with their own credit card, then charging them interest. Once they take over, the first question isn't, how do we grow this business? It's, how do we get our money out? Fast. They sell the company's assets, its real estate, equipment, even the land it sits on. Then they lease it all back. The business goes from owning property to paying rent on what it once built. They slash workers, benefits, and maintenance. They load on more loans to pay themselves special dividends. They pull every dollar they can, then sell what's left. If it works, they walk away billionaires. If it fails, they walk away anyway. That's the genius and the cruelty of private equity. Heads they win, tails you lose. For the middle class, the fallout is everywhere, but no one connects the dots. More than 1.3 million Americans have lost their jobs in the past decade to private equity-driven takeovers in retail alone. 10 of the 14 largest retail bankruptcies since 2012, including Toys R Us, Payless Shoes, and J. Crew, were owned by private equity. These companies weren't dying naturally. They were bled dry. Toys R Us was paying $400 million a year in debt interest, money that could have gone to new stores, better prices, or worker raises. Instead, Wall Street got it. When it finally collapsed, 33,000 employees lost their jobs and severance. The investors? They'd already been paid. Mervyn's, a California department store, was another casualty. Private equity buyers sold its store's real estate for quick profit, forcing the chain to pay rent on its own buildings. Within a few years, 30,000 jobs were gone. Across the country, retail workers, many women, many people of colour, lost their livelihoods. Malls emptied, main streets dimmed, and the same small circle of firms got richer. This isn't creative destruction, it's extraction, disguised as capitalism. When private equity enters, the goal isn't to build, it's to harvest. After the 2008 crash, Wall Street found a new target: your home. While millions of Americans lost their houses to foreclosure, private equity firms went shopping. Blackstone, the world's largest PE firm, was buying $125 million worth of homes every week. They turned thousands of single-family homes into rentals. By 2025, 27% of all US homes sold were bought by investors, not families. In some cities, nearly 1 in 3 homes is now owned by Wall Street. When the housing market rebounded, these firms didn't sell the homes back. They became your landlords. Tenants soon noticed what financial efficiency looks like. Rents went up. Maintenance went down. Evictions climbed. In Spain, where Blackstone became the country's largest private landlord, tenants accused the firm of neglect and sudden rent hikes. A UN housing envoy even accused Blackstone of fueling the global housing crisis. Their ownership web is designed for invisibility. Dozens of shell LLCs masking who really owns your home. Your lease might say Sunrise Homes LLC, but the money flows to a New York skyscraper. They've also moved into mobile home parks, one of the last affordable housing options. Buy it, raise the lot rent, and profit. Residents can't leave. Moving a mobile home costs thousands. The result? A permanent landlord class, invisible but everywhere. Your paycheck funds someone else's empire. Then came healthcare, where the costs aren't just financial. Private equity now owns or backs 1 in 5 for-profit hospitals in America. It's a goldmine for them. Predictable revenue, steady demand, and endless ways to cut corners. A 2023 study in Annals of Internal Medicine found patient deaths rose after private equity takeovers. Roughly 7 more deaths per 10,000 ER visits. In nursing homes, death rates climbed even higher. Prospect Medical Holdings, owned by Leonard Green and Partners, paid $645 million in dividends to its investors while its hospitals crumbled. Within a few years, 2 hospitals closed, 2,600 jobs were lost, and a shooting victim in Pennsylvania died because the nearest ER was gone. The governor called it immoral, devastating, but legal. And that's the key. It's all legal. They didn't break the rules. They wrote them. Private equity has poured millions into lobbying and campaign donations, ensuring regulations never catch up. In 2022, Apollo spent $4.4 million lobbying. Blackstone spent $2.8 million. Their biggest goal? Protecting the carried interest loophole. The tax trick that lets billionaires pay a lower rate than teachers. When lawmakers try to close it, the money machine roars to life. Both parties receive their share of campaign checks. And every year, reform dies quietly. Just like the hospitals, stores, and pensions these firms leave behind. You'll never see a Blackstone hospital or KKR toys. That's by design. The brands stay familiar while the owners stay invisible. Millions of Americans work for companies controlled by private equity without realizing it. If your company suddenly cuts benefits or restructures after a buyout, check who's behind it. If your rent spikes, check the LLC that owns your building. If your local paper shuts down, see who bought it. Private equity thrives in darkness because visibility is risk. Sunlight, as one senator said, is the only disinfectant. But you can't fight what you can't see. And right now, the middle class is fighting blind. For decades, we were told the market rewards innovation and hard work. But private equity proves something darker. It rewards control. Jobs disappear. Homes become assets. Hospitals turn into investment vehicles. More than 100,000 workers have seen their pensions cut, losing a collective $128 million due to private equity bankruptcies. Entire towns lose their anchor employers, their hospitals, their hope. The middle class is shrinking, not because people stopped working hard, but because someone figured out how to financialize their lives. Every rent check, every hospital bill, every grocery receipt, a few cents from each one flows up to the same handful of firms. And the rest of us? We're left with less and paying more for it. If this continues, 10 years from now, your landlord, your daycare, your doctor, your grocery chain, all could be controlled by the same invisible network of funds. A future where everything is owned and nothing is built. Jobs will be more precarious. Rents will consume more of your paycheck. Hospitals in unprofitable areas will vanish, and the middle class will fade from reality into nostalgia. This isn't dystopian fiction. It's the logical endpoint of an economy run on extraction. But awareness is rising. Toys R Us workers fought for severance and won. Tenant unions are forming. Some lawmakers are pushing bills to make private equity liable for the debt they load onto companies. The quiet war is being exposed, one headline, one video at a time. This is not a conspiracy. It's capitalism, evolved into something colder. Private equity doesn't need to steal your vote or your voice. It just needs your rent payment, your hospital bill, your mortgage. And as long as we don't look, it wins. But you're looking now. They don't want this video to exist. They don't want people to understand how the middle class was hollowed out. One buyout, one layoff, one rent hike at a time. So don't let this story die quietly. Share this video. Subscribe. Expose the invisible war, because the middle class can't fight back if it doesn't even know it's under attack. The quiet war is here, and now it's no longer silent.